Hello, welcome to Paul's Take. This is the third shift, and we are going to talk about that big old trench on Mars. Let me tell you something. Oh, wait a minute, where's my mic? Oh my goodness. Let's start all over. Since nobody's watching anyways, nobody saw it, right? Hello, welcome to Paul's Take, and this is my take on that big old trench they got on Mars. I never knew it was there. Or at least if I did know, I forgot because it's been such a long time. So anyhow, so they got if you're tuned in on the Mars news, apparently I was not. I thought I did. I thought I knew everything there was to know about Mars. It was round and red and far away. But they have I didn't realize they had this ultimate tourist attraction that I didn't even know existed. That's right. The pronunciation, I'm not really sure how you pronounce it. It's called I'm going to try this. Valles Marineris. Marineris? Maybe how it's pronounced, maybe not. So this thing is huge. Like on a thumbnail, if you saw it, it's as long as the United States of America. That's how long it is. And it's deep, 4 miles deep. That is crazy. Now, if you've ever been to the Grand Canyon, I have. It's mind blowing. It is completely. Ooh, I feel kind of. I think a little oozy. Maybe it's this beverage. I think we're on a ship here. Yo home, yo home. We're on a ship to Mars. Okay, so the thing is, it's 4 miles deep. Now, the Grand Canyon, like I said, I've been to the Grand Canyon once, and I almost didn't go because I was like, what's the point? I've seen many, many, many different shows on the Grand Canyon, and it looked pretty grand, but did I really need to see it in person? Well, let me tell you right now, if you've never seen the Grand Canyon in person, don't pass up the opportunity to do so. It will blow your mind. I mean, it's so grand. You hear it before, it's grand. But like, for me, I'm actually afraid of heights, right? So as I was approaching the Grand Canyon in my vehicle, I got a glimpse of it, and I almost feel like that suction, like, whoa, what in the world? What is that? So then I was eager, because I tell you the truth, I wasn't too excited to go see it. But I was driving by, and I was like, should I go? Should I not go? I couldn't really decide, to be honest with you. So what I did was, and as I'm driving by, because I was traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast, and I was on, I think, Interstate 10 freeway, and I was like, I couldn't decide. I was like, is it worth it? Because once you get off the freeway, it was another 20 or 40 minutes down the road off 5 tracks. I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'll just go one day and call it a day. But I was like, well, but then again, knowing me in life, maybe I'll never have another opportunity to go see it. So I was still on the fence. So I get off the freeway, and I said, I'm talking to myself here, of course. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, okay? We'll go get off the freeway. We'll go see this, we'll go to the gas station, and we'll talk to whoever's working at the gas station, and we'll ask that person if it's worth it. For just going, because I figure I'll stop by for like 10, 15 minutes, get a glance, go back on my road trip to the East Coast. So I pull over to the gas station. There was a lady sitting there, and I said, excuse me, ma'am, I'm driving along, just passing through. I've never seen the Grand Canyon. Is it worth my time? I only got about probably 20 minutes to spare, and then I'm going to continue on. She looked at me. If you've never seen the Grand Canyon, then you need to make that time and go see it. I was like, dang, this lady, since, she's lived there she's probably seen it a million times. If it meant that much to her that I see it, I'm going to go see it. So I went and I checked it out. So anyways, I finally parked my car, and you look over the edge. It's mind blowing. It's like you can't even comprehend. If you haven't seen it, it's hard to even wrap your head around how big this place is. I'll give you an example. So from far across the other side of the Grand Canyon, you know, yeah, on the far side, I saw a helicopter, and it looked like basically almost like an ant, but I could make out it was a helicopter. It dove into the Grand Canyon from the other side. I was watching it dive in, right, or go in, and I just diverted my eyes for a second, just a second, and I knew where it was going, and I lost a helicopter in the Grand Canyon. That's how wide it was. It wasn't even the long way. It was just a width way. I could not. I was like, oh, where'd it go? Lost it. The big giant redwoods on the bottom don't even look like grass. It's so. And like I said, I'm afraid of heights. So I actually, for some reason, because it's so grand, I think your mind can't even comprehend it. Like my brain couldn't even understand what I was looking at. So I was able to walk up onto the ledge of the Grand Canyon and just stand there and look over. No yard, no guardrail, just rock. I'm just looking over the Grand Canyon. And I couldn't even do that on the top of my roof. If I was on the ledge of my roof, I'd be freaking out. For some reason, like I said, I think it's because it's so grand that I couldn't even make out that I was afraid. It was like your brain didn't even understand what it was looking at. It was crazy. So anyhow, that being said, the Grand Canyon, of course, is a huge tourist attraction, right? People from all over the world go check out the Grand Canyon. So could you imagine? I think the Grand Canyon, I want to say, is a mile deep. I want to say that. I'm not sure. I should have looked this up. I didn't have much time. I'm always rushing on these shows. All right, let's see here. So the Grand Canyon is 6,000 feet deep, apparently. Wait, let's see here. The average is 4,000 feet deep, and it's 227 miles long. So 6,000 feet at the deepest. How far is a mile? Isn't that like 5,000 feet in a mile? Or let's see here. Feet in a mile. Okay, so like it was a mile. It's a mile deep. So imagine that. So we were on the Grand Canyon, the deepest level is a mile deep. And this trench on Mars is 4 miles deep. 4 times deeper than the Grand Canyon. I mean, really, you can see the Grand Canyon from space. But when you see the trench on Mars from space, it's a large portion of the whole planet. It's a big gash through the planet. It's crazy how big this thing is. Like I said, it's as long as the United States and 4 miles deep. So that in itself, to me, is worth a ticket. I had no desire to go to Mars for no reason. There's nothing appealing to me on Mars. It's cold, it's boring, there's no fast food places, no beaches, nothing. But when I learned it, and I just saw this today, it was on Ancient Aliens. They're talking about it and their theories about what created this thing. And I guess I didn't catch the whole show. And I guess the theories are, I could be wrong, like obviously like a meteor or something hit it, right? Or maybe like some kind of eruption from underneath. Oh yeah, I think that was it. So and then it was the Ancient Aliens theory, which it was maybe attacked by some kind of high energy lightning bolt from space, some kind of maybe a super, what's that thing? The Death Star kind of a thing, a Death Star ray, and it zapped the planet and created this big old gash. I'm not really buying either. No, it doesn't seem, I don't know, I just can't imagine something far-fetched like a giant lightning bolt from space. I mean, really, space is so mysterious. It could be that. I'm not saying it's not. Or even like a Death Star attacking Mars. And you know, the other thing that's funny is they always wondered how did Mars, like if it was actually a living planet at one point with civilization, plants and trees and dinosaurs and people and aliens and all kinds of stuff, kumbayaing, just chilling, and all of a sudden it got wiped out. So they think the evidence is of a nuclear strike that wiped them out, like a war. They say there's evidence of a nuclear strike or not a nuclear reaction that is apparently not possible by nature, by natural. Like I guess it was like glass or something on the sand, and I guess that doesn't happen unless it's nuclear. So I guess that's possible. There could have been some civilizations there attacking each other like we do here, or maybe there was some civilizations on other planets. But why even go other planets? Well, we know right here on Earth, we attack each other because we're retarded. So maybe on on Mars, they were doing the same thing. Maybe they were attacking each other. They had to fight other species. But either way, that's one theory. But here's my thing. Unless that happened much, like say there was Mars, right? There was Mars, and it's been around for billions of years, right? And then they had this, whatever caused that big old trench. They came and went, millions of years passed, and all of a sudden there's civilization, and then they got wiped out by nuclear war. No matter whoever was causing it. All right, so that's one theory. But don't you sometimes get a reflex, a gut reaction when you see something for the first time ever? So when I saw it, not realizing the size and scope of this whole thing, what I saw was a crash site, right? Because it looked long. You see where it kind of comes in the middle is fatter, and then you see how it ricochets and just continues off into space or something. So it looks to me like a crash site. So I'm not even saying a meteor crash. My reflex, instinct, reaction when I saw it, not realizing how big it was, that something crashed there, like a ship or something. Now you're thinking, well, you're drinking that funny stuff. It's impossible because it was so big, and it would have to be a big ship. All right. Okay, so granted, it would be a big ship, but my reflex reaction when I first saw it was a crash site. So how could that be? It could be a big old ship, a really, really unbelievably massive ship that we cannot even comprehend because our ships are so tiny. Because our ships that go through space is a little capsule, just barely bigger than a Honda Civic. So how could this thing? Well, it's nearly impossible to even imagine with today's technology. But if there was a civilization millions and millions of years more advanced than us, then potentially they could create a ship that's massive like that. And here's what I think happened. I wasn't there because I was probably dead. It happened a long, long time before I was born. But I'm using my psychic powers from beyond the grave. Here's what happened. This is what happened, okay? There was a civilization on Mars. They were super advanced, right? They were so advanced. They were like a civilization that was maybe 1,000,000 years more advanced than us because we were dumb over here. he only got about a couple hundred years worth of good technology. Before that, nothing. Actually, 100. So, okay, so they have a planet that was doing really well. They're really advanced. They're all smart, right? And they got this guy that was there. His name was Moron Musk. Very similar to Elon Musk. It's like the same guy, way back when. And he says, you know what, maybe we should populate other planets. You're like, what other planets are there? There's that one over there, that the blue one is all water. It's all water, but maybe if we can like maybe shoot the water into the bedrock, we can maybe create some land. And then with that land, we can have a colony there. We can put a colony on that water planet. And of course he was mocked and he was laughed at. But he was very influential and he did that. He launched some rockets into Earth, created some land, and he started populating the planet. Like a backup resort. We just put some knuckleheads up there. And in the meantime, what happened? There was this giant mothership. We saw Independence Day. Something like that, something really huge coming to Mars. They know they're there. They're pissed off. They want their money back. They want their rent money. They want their gold. They want everything. Whatever they wanted. So they're coming. This giant ship, huge, like a planet almost. It's a ship. Coming out really fast, light speed almost, coming towards Mars. But see, Mars, they were waiting for them to come back. They were planning on it. They knew they were going to come back. They know they owed them some back rent. They know they owed them some gold. So they pull out their super cannons, put on their shoulders, and as it's coming in really fast, they start launching rockets, missiles at it. And it worked. It knocked them. It destroyed the ship. Now the ship is coming towards them, out of control. Oh no. We did it too late. Now it's coming to the planet. And it comes without any control. It's broken up. It broke up into pieces. That's why there's all a bunch of different pieces, like other marks. And it comes in really fast, like nearly light speed, and slams into the side of the Earth, or not the Earth, the Mars, and ricochets right off the planet. All the debris is gone. But the impact created this huge mushroom cloud, a huge everything bad that could happen to a planet, and destroyed the whole planet. And that's how they got wiped out. Except for the few, the very few that were really tight with the Martian government that knew that something like this would happen, and they made an underground base. So the few survived. So there's a few up there on Mars, a few. And the rest came to Earth, and they became what they call Earthlings. That's what happened, I'm sure of it. So now, some of them live underground, and the rest are you and me, Martians. Nanu. All right, how much time do we got left? 10 more minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. So that's my theory. What do you think? Because when you think about it, if you look at the crater, it doesn't look sloppy, like a comet or something. It looks like it looks like it has some shape to it, some edge to it, like a metallic strike. That's why I think it was a giant ship. Anyhow, I would love to see that in person. I did have a desire to go to Mars, but now I do. I think if we can get some donkeys up there, have a little trail, that could be the next greatest first attraction in the solar system. Elon Musk should be pushing that. Doesn't it seem kind of weird? I don't know. I guess maybe because I'm not super into, I mean, I like science. I like the idea of going to Mars. And like I said, maybe I've seen it way back when and forgot about it. See, nowadays I'm forgetting more than I'm learning. But it seemed like to me, if you're ever showing a picture of Mars, you'd want to show that feature. It's just the most interesting feature on Mars. So maybe it's a cover-up. Maybe they know. Maybe they realize. They know everything. They don't tell us anything. That's how the government works. They're all secretive. They know it was a ship. Because when you think about it, if you're into conspiracy theories, the moon is a ship, right? That's what they say. I don't know. I wasn't there. I haven't gone inside. Nobody let me in. But they say the moon is an artificial satellite because they think it was brought to Earth. The Martians did it. Maybe they realized they needed something to create the tides, something to stir up the pot. So they use the moon. They use this big artificial ship. And they're inside there too, by the way, if we know that or not. If you look up moon, artificial moon, hollow moon, these are not stuff I made up. I don't know if they're true or not, but it's out there. I don't know. So, speaking of the Mars, you're thinking, this guy is straight out crazy. There's nobody on Mars. It's straight out looky. All right. Go. Maybe I'll put a link to it later. But I do have a video on my page. And I think it's called Aliens on Mars or Martians on Mars or something. UFOs on Mars, something like that. But I'll put a link. I'm going to do that later because I can't do it now. This is live. But I was watching one of those 3D interactive Mars rover. It's like a Mars rover on Mars, right? Where else would he be? It's called Mars rover. Anyway, so he's on Mars and they got the camera. It goes all the way around and you can, this high definition, right? And you can zoom in. So you can zoom in on the picture from from the normal is like really wide. You see like a lot of everything. But you can zoom in. You can zoom in pretty tight. So I was zooming in on the horizon. Just because, I don't know, I was looking for something. I was looking for a discovery. And guess what? I sure enough found one. I did. Look it up. Tell me that those are not flying saucers. There are flying saucers. Well, you can't tell they're flying saucers. There are flying objects all over the horizon on Mars. They look like, from the picture, it looks like, you've seen the pictures of orbs that people say, oh, I saw orbs. Next is what I saw too. I saw it twice. I was abducted by an alien. They totally they sent me back though. They didn't like me. They said, you got a bad attitude for an abductee. No, I never got abducted. But I did have 2 sightings of these orbs. And people see orbs all the time, right? So that's pretty much what I saw on the horizon. But that one, it was like a ton of them. I mean, so I was panning. First I saw one, right? Then I panned back, and then I moved it a little bit and panned again, and there's more. There was orbs all over the horizon. I got it. I found it. I discovered it. They should name that. I should be able to name something, because usually when you discover something, you can name it. I could name them orbs. I called them me. They're me orbs, because I discovered it. Me. Think of that. All right. So, let's see what we're doing time. We got 5 more minutes. I'm determined to do it 30 minutes. I'm sorry, my watch, it died. I gotta plug it in, so I can't tell what time it is. So anyhow, appreciate you watching the show. If you're new, you don't know me, you just ran across this, by all means, my name is Paul. This is my take on things. This is what I call, I just gotta patent this. This will be my patent right here. This is a quick $0 production. And basically, I don't put too much effort in trying to look up stuff and do research. This is for fun, right? This is a fun show. This is casual. It's not serious pants. if you're a serious scientist or something trying to gain some information, you probably don't want to go to me. But if you want possible, off the wall, logical theories, maybe that's me. Maybe I come with something. I'm gonna figure something out one day. They're gonna say that guy on that little tiny YouTube channel, he discovered something. Now he was right on the money. What do you know about that? So that's the plan. Put stuff out there. Maybe something will stay, right? And so I'm gonna try to do a podcast or a show every night, Monday through Friday, at 12:30. So, make sure you like, subscribe, and watch my shows every night. Because I know this is a third shift, and there ain't much on. So hey, there ain't much on. Just waste your time with me, your buddy Paul, on Paul's Take. And by all means, you can write down some questions. I'll be happy to answer them as best I could. I got a theory on everything. Or I can come up with a theory. I'm pretty fast. They're probably not right, don't get me wrong, but they're a theory, all right. It's my theory. Paul's Take. That's why I like the show. That's where I like this avenue, because it's like I like to come up with stuff. I think I'm right. I think I'm right like most of the time. That's the weird thing. People like mock me, but I'm right. That's why I like this forum. You can't talk back and interrupt me. I'm right. And then you got to listen to it. And then you got to realize down the road, that crazy guy, the guy with the glasses, he was right all along. Who just took it? So what do you think happened on Mars? Was it a alien strike with some kind of electrical power beam? Or was it an asteroid or a comet bouncing off? Which would be number 2 of my logic. It just seems so, it just seems, I don't know. If you go with the gut, my gut says it was a craft. I don't see anything, and there's some say, well, it's like a volcanic eruption or something. But no, that ain't right. That definitely ain't right. Because it's obviously an impact. It's obviously impacted by something. You don't have to be no crazy scientist. Some Harvard graduate, some MIT guy to say, that's an impact. I don't know what impacted, but it was an impact. It might have been Superman. It could have been Superman fighting one of them guys that were in the glass thing, and they came out there like, oh, the glass thing. And then next thing you know, they somehow broke out. I can't remember how it broke out. It was like a nuclear explosion or something. You know what I'm talking about in Star Wars. Not Star Wars. Superman, Part 2, which is people they were in glass and they broke out and they fought. They punched Superman to Mars and they made all this damage. Anyhow, all right. I'm not sure if this is a full 30 minutes. My watch died. I can't tell what time it is, but I feel like I'm just babbling. So anyhow, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you're number 1 in my list. Make sure, like I said, subscribe to the channel. Give me some ideas too. Go in the comment box, say, hey dude, what's your take on this, man? Tell me about it, man. What do you think? What do you think? Pretty much any subject matter is cool. I might not like it. I might not answer it, but maybe I will. I can use some help with some ideas. Thanks for watching Paul's Take. This is the third shift.